Hello and welcome to Whododo.com, and I am Badekkila Pradeep, and as usual this week as well there is a new phone, and it's actually not very new in terms of its OS, but the OS has been relaunched and the phone has been launched as well, and the phone is Lava Pixel V1, and this is a sturdy phone from the outside of it, but what is inside and how does the phone perform in terms of all the tests that we do is gonna be right here in this particular video. So let's get started and see what's actually there on this phone. Okay, so let's look at the phone in detail. The build of the phone is okay to me, and this is a little old in style with the metallic finish on the back side, like the way you can see it right now. You can see two logos of Lava, and at the bottom you can see Android One logo little above the speaker that they have given for all the music that you might want to play. But the back side of the phone basically has the camera and the flash and the speaker and two logos, nothing else, and openable flap cover which holds two SIMs and a micro SD card slot and the battery, and this is all that you can find on the back side. And the front side, if you can see, has a wide screen with the edges really thin on right and left, but on top and bottom you have a lot of space, but overall the phone's design looks really nice from the front side, but on the back it looks quite average and plasticky, even though it has the metallic finish. And on the left side there is absolutely no buttons at all, and when you turn to the right side of the phone you have two buttons. One is the volume up and down on top, and one is the power button, and at the bottom you just have one microphone, and at the top you have the audio jack and also the micro USB charging and data transfer possibilities. And when it comes to the display of the phone, with 5.5 inches HD IPS display with also Asahi Dragon Trail glass protection, this phone doesn't look that great in terms of its sturdiness, and also the vividity in terms of the display inside is not that great according to me. So according to me the display doesn't score that well. When we look at the internal performance of this phone, I feel that this, with 1.3 GHz quad-core processor and a 2 GB RAM and a 32 GB internal memory and expandable up to 32 GB with a micro SD card slot, comes with Android One. Android One didn't work out to many people like the way this particular phone didn't work out for me, because this has all the basic functionalities. Okay, agreed, that's what's supposed to be, but the problem is this does not require to be this costly. 11,300 rupees for this particular phone with no 4G, only 3G, though it is a dual SIM phone with a 32 GB internal memory. According to me, this is not something that people would expect, because 4G is something that has come up already across the country by Airtel, and Reliance Jio is also planning to launch at the end of the year across the country. And also the basic functionalities of an Android One wouldn't really work out at this price range, because even Google has announced that they are planning to launch phones which are about only 3,200 rupees for an Android One entry level phone, though they had launched such phones at about 7,000 rupees earlier. So this might not work for everyone, like the way this particular Android One phone didn't work for me in terms of its performance. So let's have a look at the camera. 13 megapixel camera is right here with high intensity flash and all those things, but this is supposed to be software enhanced 8 megapixel sensor. That means the camera is bumped up, not really a 13 megapixel really high capacity camera, so that's the reason why. And also the stock camera of Android One is very basic. In the days when we are used to have both the buttons of a camera for video and stills on the same screen, now we'll have to change it on this phone, so that's not a great deal, isn't it? And even the front camera, even though it is 8 megapixels, doesn't give you great clarity. So when it comes to sound, this has an FM radio. That is one thing which have ceased to be existing in the phones these days. So that's one advantage among the other things, and even the speaker, according to me, is quite okay. With about 2650 mAh battery, the phone can last up to about a day and a half the way you use it, and the phone has really basic functionalities and a 2GB RAM and a 1.3 GHz quad-core processor. Probably the RAM in the processor might suck up a little bit of battery, but not much of functionalities, and also not really a sturdy phone. That's probably why I think this phone can last up to 2 days in your hands. And when we tested the phone, this has lasted 2 days because we didn't find much enthusing things to do on the phone. So that's the reason we didn't use much of the phone anyway. So according to me, the battery gets a thumbs up. So if we look at the overall performance of the phone, according to me, this is not a great phone to buy, because with the price range of 11,300 rupees for this phone with the Android One, I think Lenovo's K3 Note and also Micromax's U Eureka Plus have better prices and also have much better features. So why would you want to buy a Lava Pixel V1? That's the question that you would have on your minds. Even though the phone is 11,300 rupees average in the market today, with the screen size and probably the 13 megapixel camera, and also if you want to experience Android One, I think this is the right phone, and this is the right phone for you to try out. And also probably the battery is not bad at all. So that's all about the overall performance of Lava Pixel V1.
So here is my ratings for the phone, and I would say it gets about 2.5 stars out of 5 because of the problems that it has in terms of its overall display. I think the ones which feel like really plastic are almost extinct, and I wouldn't really prefer a phone like that. And another thing is the battery backup is average, and one more thing is the display. Display is not that great according to me, because the phone needs a lot of brightness and the vividity which doesn't exist on this particular phone, and even the camera app is not that great, and probably the app built for Android One is not that comparable with the other Android phones, and that's the reason 2.5 out of 5 stars. And let's wrap, but before wrapping up, I want to tell you guys, please subscribe and comment down there, and subscribing is very important because that's how we can keep growing and giving you much better reviews, understandable in our day-to-day language, and also much more entertainment. And like I said last week, we are gonna soon launch our website with all the latest content in gadget world, not just in English but also in Kannada, and soon in other regional languages. So before going, I would definitely want to remind you guys that for all your gadget needs, the only destination with more than 300 stores across India is Sangeetha Mobiles. Don't forget. And this is Badekkila Pradeep signing off.